Good morning everyone, I'm back. I'm sorry the new tutorial has taken a bit of time. I actually had a really bad shoulder injury where I had an inflammation in my rotator cuff from just playing way too much video games and using my arm at work and stuff. And it was really bad, but now I've been to the hospital. I'm on 3 different kinds of painkillers. I've had cortisone shots straight into my shoulder joint, so I feel like roided up John Jones right now, which is just regular John Jones, I guess. But in this tutorial I want to talk to you about Bob. The reason I'm doing Bob right now is that I'm personally like shopping for a new main character right now, or I just want to pick up and get good at a new character. The 3 characters that I do play a lot, Katarina, Miguel and Gigas, are all like in the orange ranks right now, but I want to like try and pick up someone new and sort of mix it up a little bit. And I've been looking at Bob and really liking what I'm seeing so far, so I might end up picking this character up. We'll see. But I just thought, now that I've been learning so much about the character, it might be a good opportunity to just tell you guys all about what I've found out so far. The first thing I want to mention about Bob before we get into this is that one thing I've noticed is that the character is extremely strong. Just looking at the moves, that was the first thing that sort of struck me, is that he seems to be extremely powerful, and I am surprised that we don't see more Bob. He's not super popular, and I think that actually has a lot to do with just the way the character looks, because he is exceptionally powerful and not too difficult to use, but he has some stuff. Specifically, he has a Mishima style crouch dash. Now, I don't play crouch dash characters. If you look at all the characters that I main, there are no like crouch dash characters or even roll dash characters in my sort of repertoire. And the reason for that is just I find them to be kind of awkward. But this is kind of like a good opportunity for me to sort of improve my own wave dashing and sort of improve that aspect of myself as a player. But as you can see right here, Bob has a Mishima style crouch dash, and it actually connects into Hell Sweep, and it's basically his own version of Kazuya's Hell Sweep, which is a great move, and it's one of the reasons he's so dangerous when he's mixing his opponents up. But that's just some initial words on the characters. On the character, I have a lot of moves I want to talk about with this character, so we're just gonna go straight into it. First thing we're gonna do, as usual, is just mention some quick block punishment, and then we're gonna talk about pokes, and then sort of move on from there. So if we start with standing 10 frames, you've got 1-1-2. 24 damage, very decent. This is all natural. All 3 hits are natural, so this is true punish. And it's what I would probably use for my 10 frame punish, but you've got a couple of other options. You've got 2-1. 2-1 is a lot less damage, as you can see, but the reason 2-1 is good is it connects to this extension, which is 2-1-4, which is a safe mid. And if you finish this string, sometimes you score a knockdown on the opponent. You can chase them with a down 1, and it's decent, so that's pretty cool. And then you've also got 1-4, which is a move I see good Bob players use all the time to set up counter hits, and they sort of poke with this move and counter poke with this move. But it gives you 22 damage, so it's kind of like a nice middle ground between the 1-1-2 and the 2-1. Probably, if I'm honest, I will probably end up using 1-4. This just feels perfect to me in terms of punishment. I like the little bit of pushback, puts them in range for stuff like down 4-2. And then for 12 frames, you've got an amazing move. You've got forward 2-3. This is again natural combo, true punish. It's an amazing 12 frame punish, one of the best in the game, reminiscent of stuff like forward 2-4 from Lars. I think it's really important that Bob has this really powerful punish for 12 frames, because as we're going to talk about later, Bob doesn't have any fast launchers, so he needs to have some powerful punishment on faster frames to make sure that he doesn't become too easy to party on, because he can't block punish you effectively. For 15 frames, you've got this move. It's just down 1+2 to 1. I hate this move. But it is a 15 frame punisher, so you can use it for that. But if you look at the damage right here, that gives you 35, but your 12 frame punish gives you 32. So in my opinion, you might as well just use your 4-2-3 most of the time. But this move, one thing to mention about it is if you hold down after it, let's see if we can get it out here. you can go into like an automatic key charge, which is gimmicky and not really super useful, but it's there. So I don't like this move at all. I would actually recommend that you stick to this for the most part, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. And then you have to go all the way up to 18 frames to find Bob's first standing launcher, which is down back 1+2, this move. You can see that this move actually has some really cool crush properties as well, so this is a very good move. And it's not really meant to be used as a block punisher, but it is the fastest launcher you have at 18 frames, so that's sort of what we have to mention here in terms of like his block punishment. And I think you can combo like this or something, right? Okay, let's see if we can get this. Yeah, that works. Okay, great stuff. And then for 20 frames you get a hop kick, and yeah, Bob's hop kick is very slow, which is unfortunate. It's 20 frames instead of 15, which basically means that you're not going to use it for block punishment all that much at all. It's more of a whiff punisher. It's got better range than most hop kicks. It's got decent damage as well, so that's that. And then for while standing, you've got a while standing 4. It's standard. It doesn't do a lot of damage or anything. And then I'm just going to mention one more while standing punisher, a while standing 2-1. This is a 14 frame while standing launcher, which is premium stuff. If you know your Tekken, you know that few characters get to launch at 14 frames, and the few characters that do usually don't have like a super great launcher at 14 frames. Like Miguel, for example, his while standing launcher isn't all that good. Bob's is amazing. This is an amazing move. It does a lot of damage. See, solid 66 damage to that combo, which might not even be optimal. It's very fast, it's got good range, and it's an amazing while standing punisher. So that's not everything, but that's everything I'm going to go through in terms of block punishment. Now I would like to talk to you about Bob's mid pokes, and he basically has 6 trillion of these, so it's going to take a little while. Bear with me. I like to start with a down forward 1 when I talk about these characters. Bob has one. It is a bog standard but good down forward 1. It's 13 frames. The one extension, I shouldn't say extension, the one part, the first part here is +5 on hit, -3 on block, so kind of standard for a down forward 1. He has a 2 extension, which looks like this. This is a natural combo, meaning that this is you can use this as a quick little whiff punisher at 13 frames. You can use it as a 13 frame block punisher if you want. It really reminds me of down forward 1-2 from Miguel, actually. It's really good. The extension is +1 on hit, but it is -12 on block, which is, to be expected. So you can't finish it all the time. But that's down forward 1. Standard stuff, good fast mid. Use it to set up counter hits. Use it to, hit crouching opponents. And then the next move I want to mention here, which actually I might end up using instead of down forward 1 a lot, is back 2. And the reason for this is back 2 is very similar to down forward 1. It is also a 13 frame mid poke, and it gives you +8 on hit, which is bigger, really good. So you can use it to set up a lot of stuff. And it is the same -3 on block. So it's basically like your down forward 1. It has less range. If you look, down forward 1 hits from out here, and back 2 doesn't. But you get more plus frames on hit, so back 1 is very decent. And to sort of pick up Bob and learn how to use him properly, I've been watching MBC. If you don't know about MBC, he's a Korean King and Bob main, probably one of the best Bob players in the entire world as far as I know. And he streams, so you can look, there are like hours and hours of footage of his Bob, and he basically does not use down forward 1. He almost exclusively relies on back 2 for mid poking. Which is an indication that that's probably a good idea. You should always try and emulate these great Korean masters, because even if we don't understand why, there's usually a good reason for why they are doing something. Okay, I'm just going to go down my list here. Next, I think we should probably talk a little bit about down forward 2. Down forward 2 is a great move. It's a fast mid that tracks in the opposite direction of moves like down forward 1, so that's important. It's slightly slower at 15 frames, but the reason you use this move is not because of the mid poking capabilities, but because of the fact that it is a counter hit launcher, and a very good one at that. If you look at the animation here, I think this actually has a couple of high crush frames, and it's fast, it leads to good damage, it's a very, very good move. And so you will do stuff like, you know, poke with 1-4 and then try and go into this, and it's really good. Very good move. Like I said, 15 frames. Alright, what do we need to talk about next? Let's mention down one. And down one is an iconic Bob move. He uses this to chase people on the ground. It hits grounded, obviously. It is a safe mid at -9, so it's barely safe. But it's fast. It doesn't do huge damage or anything, but it's good. And there are situations where Bob can get guaranteed down ones on grounded opponents. So it is important to use. Like if I was to just like knock my opponent down with something, say for example I did 2-1-4, I could go straight into like down one like that. So it's not like super useful when your opponent is standing up. You should probably rely on stuff like, you know, this, but it's there. It's an Oki tool. Okay, let's mention down back tool. I mean, you see the fast mid pokes just keep on coming, and they all look very similar. So navigating Bob's big move pool can be a little bit intimidating at first, but everything is good and safe. So it's like you can't go wrong. Down back 2 is a 14 frame good mid poke. You see it gives you that solar plexus stun, so it gives you a very respectable +6 on hit, and it is -8 on block, meaning that it is a safe move. Mainly a combo tool, but it's useful. It's got good range, and it's got better damage than stuff like this. You see, this gives you 10, this gives you 13, that gives you 17, and this gives you 14. So this is like the most powerful one by a small margin. Alright, next I want to mention back 1-2. Back 1-2 is a great little move. This is I've forgotten to write down the frame data, but I'm pretty sure this is 15 frames. I'm sure enough that I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is 15 frames. It is -8 on block and a natural combo, so this is a fast little punish. It does good damage, so this is like a fast mid that you can actually throw out, and if it hits, you just get a good chunk of damage. I've only played a little bit of Bob, but I've used this, for example, after blocking rage arts to kill opponents and stuff. It's very decent, and you see it has another one of those like solar plexus stuns, so it's a nice move to sort of break up the pace of the game, give yourself a second to sort of think and look around and plan your next move. I like back 1-2 into forward 4. It's a favorite set of mine. Forward 4 is another move we're going to talk about. It's amazing. Excuse me, I'm going to have a drink here. Alright, let's look at the time. How are we doing? Yeah, we're doing fine. Okay, let's talk about forward 4 now. Actually, this is one of my favorite moves with Bob. I think it's great. It is a fast homing move. It is a high, which is sad. If it was mid, it would be the best move in the game, so I suppose that makes sense. This is 16 frames, which is pretty fast. But the great thing about it is that you get this completely guaranteed back 3 on hit. And back 3 is like my favorite move with Bob. I really like listen to the sound of it when it hits. It's got a great hitbox. It's an amazing move, and you get it completely guaranteed off of this, which is something that I really like. This move converts into like a cool little throw like that on counter hit for some extra damage, which is nice. But most of the time you're going to use it looking for sidestepping opponents and then collecting the guaranteed back 3 for good damage. Very solid stuff. Highly recommended. The move is safe. So use it a lot, but don't get ducked. Forward 1+2 is another movie we should talk about. This is similar, in my opinion, to back 4 from Miguel. It's just like an armor move that you will use to try and break up your opponent's fast attacks and collect wall splats, which it's very good at. It doesn't look like it has a lot of range because it's like a stomach hit, but it's got surprisingly good range. See that? If I stand like out here, okay, maybe like at this range, yeah, it's gonna hit. So it's a very solid move, actually. Surprisingly good. And I think, I haven't tested it, but I'm like 99% sure that because this is a stomach hit and not like a hand or a leg, you can't reverse or parry this. So I'm pretty sure that this is gonna for example, it'd be a good option when you want to hit Asuka out of her, when you're scared that she might do her very annoying reversal and stuff. So that's cool. Power Crush, it has armor. It's an amazing move. Just be aware that it is punishable. It comes out at 15 frames, which is very fast, and it's minus 13 on block, which is kind of standard for a move like this. So good stuff. Use it at the wall, or use it when your opponent's coming in on you. You can go through Dragunov's running too, which is probably a bad trade for you in terms of damage, but whatever. Alright. What's next? Back 3. Oh yeah, I mentioned back 3. I think it's one of the coolest moves ever. I like the sound, I like the range, I like the wall splat. It is punishable, however, so the main way to use this move is actually to hit grounded opponents. I showed you that you get it guaranteed off of your forward 4, but this is actually a ground hitting mid that will hit opponents who are grounded like anyway. So it's very good for that. It actually reminds me of something like up back 4 from Katarina. It's like a wall splatting chunky mid that is going to hit grounded opponents, which means that if you knock an opponent down at the wall and you use this, if they stay on the ground, you get the hit. If they get up ducking looking for a low, you get the wall splat. So the proper way to deal with it is to get up blocking, but it covers a couple of options, meaning that I think it is a good Oki tool, and it's got massive range. Look at, like, from out here it's going to hit, so it's like a long range whiff punish and wall splatting tool as well. I absolutely love the move. It's the kick that comes out of the forward 2-3, by the way, for the 12 frame block punish. Okay, next we should talk about, this is probably Bob's most important move. If I'm honest, I think this move is absolutely amazing. 442, the Lariat. And the reason this move is important is it's a huge range safe mid. It actually reminds me of 442 from Gigas, which is, in my opinion, Gigas is like maybe most important move, or at least top 3. One of the reasons I do well with that character is I can apply his 442. Difference being that Gigas' 442 is safe most of the time because of knockback. Bob's 442 is safe all the time. It is amazing. So you cover ground with this, you cause wall splats. So Bob is like moving around, right? He's moving around right here, he's doing Korean backdashing, then boom, he explodes into a 442. And he gets good damage and knockdowns. It's super good. Let's have a look at the frame data. Like, it doesn't really matter what it comes out at because, you know, it's fast and long range. I think it's 14 frames, but because it comes out of forward, you are realistically going to get this at 15 frames or slower. Maybe 15, 16, 17, depending on how crisp your input is. -8 on block. Yeah, completely safe. Now, one thing to mention about the wall right here is that Bob has a version of this move that comes out of Sidestep. It is Sidestep 1+2. You can see he does basically exactly this move out of a Sidestep. So Sidestep 1+2, you get this move. This is an amazing wall splatting tool because it's so fast at wall splats and it comes out of the Sidestep. So, you know, you're jabbing your opponent like this. They think, you know, they block. It's their turn to attack. You Sidestep something and boom, you get the wall splat, which is amazingly powerful. So this is a good evasive tool as well. Sidestep 1+2. Okay. Yeah, next I want to mention his backswing blow. This is back forward 1. An amazing move, highly abusable. Range is massive. Evasive properties are good. I really like the move. It is punishable on block, but you get away with it most of the time, even if it does get blocked. So this is, you know, the theory about behind the backswing blow is kind of the same as like an armor move. You're like hitting your opponent like this up close, and then when it's their turn to attack, you basically dip back out, you crush whatever it is they're trying to use, and you get a chunk of damage, and you collect the momentum back in the game, and then you can, you know, go into a hell sweep or whatever. So that's really good. It is -12 though, so you can get punished, be aware. Next, let's talk a little bit about Bob's down forward 3 string. This is a cool string, one that you probably shouldn't be using all that much when you're new to the character, but it is really potentially good. So let's talk a little bit about it. So you've got down forward 3-1-1 to start. So the 3-1 by itself, I'm pretty sure it's a natural combo. Let's double check that. So that's second action all guard. Yeah, so you can see the first 2 hits are natural and the 3rd hit is not, so that's cool. But the 3rd hit, if it does hit, if your opponent tries to interrupt you or something, let's see if we can hit with just the 3rd hit. I actually written down that this is supposed to be a launcher, isn't it? No? Or maybe it's a counter hit launcher. That's supposed to work. And then what do you spin with? Down 3? Yeah. Okay, that's right. Sorry about this. My notes are a little bit wrong. So we're just gonna have to try this right now. Come on, get the range right. Yeah, there you go. So it's a counter hit launcher. Sorry about that. So it's a counter hit launcher. But it's like a decent damage mid, so it exists. Next, you have down forward 3-2. This is cool because you can use it in combos as sort of like say I launch right here. I can use it for like a wall carry option that does decent damage. You can see it carries a nice distance to the wall right there. So that move's pretty cool. And the second hit is high though, so it's duckable. He does this weird like little like, look at his animation after the move hits. He like goes back and goes, yeah, check me out. So yeah, it's probably minus 1,000,000 on block. Let's check it out. How minus it is on block here. Down for 3-2. Just a minute. Down forward. Down forward 3-2. Yeah, it's -9, so it's actually safe but duckable. So that's pretty decent. Next, you have down forward 3-4-4, and this is one of those strings. You can see you get a mid into a low, so you can use this to like chip away at opponents. But the reason this move is cool, and it's the main reason I wanted to mention this string at all, which is why I didn't know a lot about those other 2 extensions, is that the last 2 hits of this are actually, as far as I know, a natural combo. So the 2 hits. So that should yeah. So you see he's not guarding that, which means that this works as a natural combo. It's down forward 3-4-4. And this is made even cooler by the fact that the last or the second hit is actually hit confirmable. So you can see right now I'm hit confirming this. So I'm looking for the second hit, and when I see it, I press 4 again to do the extension, and that works. So you can do that. Look for the hit. When you've hit confirmed, you can collect the extension for guaranteed damage. So it's actually really decent. But you got to train yourself to do the hit confirm. Sorry for my little iffy notes on this string, but now we've talked about it. So next I should mention down forward 3+4. This is a launcher. It's got crush properties, it's safe, and it's mid, which means that it's really good. It's kind of slow though, but it does work, and you get some half decent damage off it. I think maybe you can do something like this. Does that work? Yeah. Yeah, so you get like upwards to 60 damage. It's not amazing, but it's a mid-safe launcher, so it's worth mentioning. Yeah, next let's talk about his down 2 string. So down 2 has all of these crazy extensions. Down forward 1-4 is like a wall carry tool. Down forward 1-3 is a combo tool. It's kind of decent outside of combos, but it's a little bit slow. But then he has down forward, let's see here. This string, it's down forward 2-1-2-2, 2-1-2-2. So most of the time you're only going to use down forward 2-1 like this as sort of a fast poking string, which is very decent. And then the last 2 hits are a natural combo, and both hits are delayable. So you can use that to create, is he gonna finish the string kind of mix-ups, which is pretty cool. So you can do like this, and you see I delay the 3rd hit there. And you can even, delay the 3rd hit, and then look for that hit confirm it, and then do the 4th hit, like that. So you see it's very delayable. The thing about this string is that the 4th hit is massive. It's really big. It does huge damage, it wall splats and stuff. So when you're at the wall, something you can do with Bob is like you can do this, like the first 3 hits, and look for or just delay and try to make your opponent press a button, and when you've done that, you just input the last hit late and you get a massive damage wall splat. That is a little bit dangerous, however, because the move is punishable, so just be aware of that, but it is a decent tool. I've seen, you know, good players use these first 3 hits as sort of like a wall carry option as well. So say I launch here, I spin, I can run up and do the first 3 hits, like let's do it again. Like that, and it creates a decent sort of wall carry option, which is pretty cool. Okay, down 3 plus 4. This is his wall carry option. Wall damage option. It's like a wall damage thing, but it's going to hit grounded opponents. It's mid and it's going to wall splat. So you can use this as an Oki tool at the wall, which is very decent, but it is punishable. But yeah, you see a lot of the wall. It's kind of unremarkable outside of that. He's got better things to apply in most other situations. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about this move, but I am going to show it in combos later. Up 3 plus 4, however, is an amazing move. This is a ground hitting chunky mid. It crushes lows. You see it jumps up in the air, which is really cool. And it's a good damage counter hit launcher. Oh yeah, so you got to do while standing after that. So I guess you could do something like what would be a good idea? Does that work? Yeah. So let's try. Let's just see if I can get a combo off this. That should actually work. Yeah, that works. Okay. I just wanted to try see what would be like a decent combo option for that. There are probably better options, but this is like I said, a ground hitting counter hit mid. It's very, very good. And it's -4 on block, which means that it is safe as well. So it's a great move. I think +6 on hit. Yeah. So that's decent. So these are like a lot of Bob's really, really good mids. There's one more we need to talk about before we move on, but it's kind of important, so I'm going to put it in its own section. For now, I just want to talk a little bit about low pokes. So the main those I want to mention here are down 4. Down 4 is like a fast, long-range low poke that leaves you standing, which is decent. It comes out at 16 frames and it's -12, so it's completely unseeable and very fast, and it's not too minus on block. You're going to eat basically while standing 4 after this if it does get blocked, so it's pretty good. You've got down back 3. Down back 3 has good tracking, good range, hits grounded, and is extremely good. It's 20 frames, which means that it might be seeable by very good players in an offline environment, but it's never going to be seen online. If this gets blocked like online, it's because you were applying it out of order, because it should never be seen. It's also -12, which is great. So you can use this a lot to chip away your opponent and harass them. And it's going to hit sidesteppers a lot too. I really like the move. And then I'm also going to mention down forward 3 plus 4 4, a move that you've no doubt faced if you played against Bob. This move is launch punishable on block, but it's fast enough that that's only going to happen very rarely. I mean, it's minus like a million. I think it's minus, what is it, 28? Yeah, it's -28. So don't get it blocked, but you can see that it knocks your opponent down. It puts them in this awkward like trip on the ground, meaning you have 6 trillion plus frames and you can do like a lot of stuff. So it's really good. It's a great knockdown little mid poke. Yeah. Okay, what else do we need to mention before we move on to up forward 1 plus 2? Okay, let's mention back 4. Back 4 is a really cool move. I love this move. It's kind of like an evasive mid launcher with good range. And it is safe, -4 on block. So again, amazing move. Bob is very mid and very safe in general, which is great stuff. So and then you can like combo off of this in all kinds of crazy ways. I think you might want to do like that works. You can do That works too. So yeah, this is a great move. And I don't know exactly when it would be a great idea to use. Maybe you could use it as like a stand-in for a hop kick, but you can use it evasively while backtracking. It comes out of back. It's got like the range of it, if you look at the range, it's actually very long. The range extends further than Bob was in his initial position before the back, which means that it's kind of backswing blowish, and it works really well. So let's have another drink here. That's a move that comes recommended. Now, before we start talking about stances and stuff, we need to do a little section on up forward 1+2. Up forward 1+2 looks like this. It's his jump in, and this move is really important for Bob. He has two extensions that create a little bit of a mix-up. One of them is a new move in this game. So before he had up forward 1+2, 1+2, right? This is a very punishable mid-mid, but it is a natural combo. So if you can confirm this, if you know it's going to hit, it's really good. You can also hit confirm this move, so you jump in with up for 1+2, you look for the hit, and then you finish the string. And you get a massive damage knockdown and a massive damage wall splats. This move is really good, only you do not want to get it blocked. That's dangerous. The other option that you have is up forward 1+2, 4. This is a completely safe high extension. I think it's something like -1 or something on block. It's basically like -0 on block, so it's very safe, but it is a duckable high. So it is very dangerous to apply this too much and allowing your opponent to duck it, because you're going to get launched. But they also have to respect the 1+2 extension, obviously, so it's kind of good. Now, the reason I mentioned this move, and I think it's important, is that okay, so basically this is going to get into a little bit more technical stuff about how the character is usually applied at a high level, but he has a Mishima style crouch dash, right? So when Bob is crouch dashing at you like this, people are going to be scared of his hell sweep. And so that's what they're looking for. It's extremely powerful, and so he wants to mix that up with mids. Now, what most people do when they're starting to mix up out of hell sweep out of crouch dash is they do a crouch dash like this, and then they go straight into an up for 3 hop kick like that. Okay. The reason this might not be like this is good. It's like a solid strategy with Bob, but the reason it might not be optimal is, you know, the hop kick is punishable and stuff, and kind of slow. So what I see, like I mentioned MBC before, the really good Bob player, he will actually, instead of using the hop kick, he will do a wave dash or a crouch dash into up forward 1+2, and he will constantly do this, and then he will apply, you know, the up forward 1+2 1+2 hit confirm some of the time, and the up forward 1+2 4 most of the time. To create a powerful mix-up, and this allows him to create a lot of knockdowns. It gives him a lot of damage. It gives him wall splats. He even whiff punishes with this move a lot, so it's very powerful, and it works especially well out of this wave dash for a mid-mid mix-up. So this is an important string. I am a little bit scared of using it because of how punishable the 1+2 is and how duckable the 4 is. But I think if you can sort of get a feel for when to apply which option and how to use this move effectively, it is potentially one of Bob's most important tools, especially at the wall. So look at a couple of high-level players, and you will see that they all apply this move and sort of try and understand why and how they are applying it, and I think it's going to be a huge resource for you. Okay, what else? For time, we're on, okay, half an hour, that's perfect. Let's talk about stances, and then do combos, and then do walls. So you've got 2 stances basically. Well, you've got 1 stance, and then you've got your Mishima style crouch dash. So his stance, he's got a stance called Meatball. It's what I call it anyway. I don't know if that's the official name. You've got Meatball back, which is back 3+4. It doesn't have any moves out of it. It's not a stance or anything. It's more like an evasive tool. You can use this when you want to create space. It actually works quite well for that. I can see myself when I'm playing against like a rushdown character like Law, and I don't want to be like up here all the time. I might create space with this, and then, you know, go in with for 2s. So that's decent. But then you also got forward 3+4, and he does Meatball forward, and this is a decent stance. It can be used. So let's talk about the moves. You've got Meatball 1, it's -8 on block and +6 on hit, which is good, and it is a mid, so it's a safe mid, and it gives you a high damage launch on counter hit, which is good. You've got Meatball 2. Meatball 2 is a mid homing move that gives a knockdown and a wall splat. It's very powerful, but this is -11, meaning that it is punishable, but barely. I mean, you're not going to eat a big punish for using this, so that's pretty cool. It's also a spin move, so you can actually use it to spin after stuff like, I think, after Crouch Dash 2, yeah. So that works. You've got Meatball 3, which is a cool move because while it is high, it's actually a +8 on block. So it's if you manage to get your opponent to block this, you're gonna collect a mix-up because you're at a massive +8, which is good. And then you've got Meatball 3+4, which is just a big knockdown mid that is punishable on block. A weird thing about Meatball 3+4, we don't need to talk about it, but you can hold back and ball will end in back turn. It's kind of like a bootleg Lily move. It's kind of weird. I don't really know of any like cool way to apply this, but I can see maybe you using at the wall, because Bob has one unique back turn move, which is down 2. So you could like potentially do this, stay back turn at the wall, and then try and collect a wall splat with, surprise them with the very unorthodox Bob back turn down 2. And that gives you a wall splat. So yeah, if you manage to do that in a competitive game, you're going to look ridiculously awesome, because I don't think your opponent's even going to know about back turn down 2 from Bob, but who knows. And the next move to mention here, the last move out of Meatball, is just Meatball 3. Meatball 4. Meatball 4 is a low launch punishable launcher. It doesn't give massive damage or anything. I've only ever been able to get 50 damage off of this, but that's decent. If you're able to hit with it, you can stress your opponent out with this, because you have a low launcher. They're going to have to respect it, so they might duck, and then you can apply your mids, right? But I think, yeah, you do something like that, and then you can get a combo. Or you can do... yeah, and you get like 50 damage, so it's decent. Okay, that was Meatball. Let's talk a little bit about your Mishima style crouch dash, or just your crouch dash. These are performed, if you don't know, if you're very new to Tekken, by doing forward and then down, down, forward. And then you can like cancel them by pressing forward again, and you can do that, which is known as a Mishima style wave dash in this game. You can tell right here that I'm not a Mishima player, so I'm not good at doing that at all, but it's something that I'm practicing right now. But it looks like something like this. And you've got some really decent moves out of your wave dash. The main one, of course, being that you have Kazuya's, basically Kazuya's Hell Sweep. This is wave dash or crouch dash down, forward 4, 1+2. You can do it really fast, like something like that, or you can sort of extend it and do it late in the wave dash like that, which is very important. It's a high damage, like sort of unseeable, depending on whether or not they're actually reacting to the wave dash or the crouch dash low, and it gives you massive mix-up potential. That's really all we need to say about the move. I mean, it's an Oki tool. It's basically an everything tool. It's a huge resource for a character to have a Hell Sweep this powerful, and it's one of the best versions of it as well. So yeah, very good. See, I really need to practice it to get it out faster. But that's fun, I've been a Tekken player for the better part of a decade, and I'm playing at pretty high ranks, but there are like key aspects of the game that I haven't even started learning, like, Mishima style wave dashing. So I'm looking forward to really improving that aspect of my own game, and it's going to be fun to take this character online and see what I can do with him later. Alright, let's talk about your Crouch Dash 1. Crouch Dash 1 is a fast, high, and spin move. It gives you a counter hit launch. It's very powerful, it's very fast. It's only -2 on block, but it is duckable. Yeah. You can use it in combos as well for like a spin move. When you get a big launch, for example, I think it's a pretty good option off of like that. Yeah. So this is a cool move, I like it. And then on counter hit, I think you basically what you do is you do that again. Yeah, and then you can do a combo. Okay. Next we've got your crouch dash 3-2, unremarkable. It's like a fast mid mix up for the hell sweep, I guess. I'm pretty sure that this will break floors though, so you can use it in combos. Right? I can see, like, for example, maybe you spin like this and then you do. Would that work? Let's try and make it work. Yeah, that should probably work for like a pretty high damage floor break, so that's pretty cool. Not an important move or anything. And then probably my personal favorite move out of your crouch dash is your crouch dash 1+2. This is a fast, chunky mid that is going to wall splat and knock down. Okay, I'm doing all kinds of moves right now. What I'm trying to do is that move, okay? This move. Okay, see, if you just calm down and try and clean up your inputs, it becomes a lot easier to play Tekken. This move is cool because it's going to mix up your hell sweep, it's going to cause wall splats, and it's actually very safe. If you do the normal version like this, you just throw it out, it's -10, so you can get punished, but if you charge it up by holding it down a little bit like that, it becomes more powerful, and it's only -7, meaning it becomes truly safe. So a great little move as well. Okay, is that it for the crouch dash? Let's see here. We did 1, we did 2, we did 3-2, we did hell sweep, and we did 1+2. Okay, great. Next move I want to talk about, one of Bob's most important moves again. When we talk about characters in these tutorials of mine, I always mention at least one command grab that it has to be broken in, you know, a 1+2 or something. But the thing about Bob is he actually has an amazing 1+2 throw because it's going to cause a combo. A pretty decent combo. He gets pretty good damage off of this for being one of these launching throws. So if you just do the throw like this, the input, by the way, is 4/4 1+2. If you do that and you just let him drop, it's going to do 30 damage. But if you go straight into a forward 4, which is, you know, a spin move with Bob, you can do a combo. You have a couple of different options for the combo. I think what I'm gonna do is this. So that gives you what, 47, which is very decent. You can also do, I think, that gives you 44. I think you can do double down forward one like that as well. That gives you 47 as well. So if you're like me, you're not super comfortable with doing really fast like crouch dash ones like that. It's not hard. I mean, if you practice it, you can get it like that. It's not hard at all. But you can use the double down forward one option that I showed you right there instead, and then back to 2, and you do that. But yeah, this works. It's a great little option when your opponent is being very defensive to be able to launch them with a throw like that. And obviously, in a world where we've got rage arts and wall carries and stuff, this can potentially do a lot more damage than just that 47. Okay, are we ready to talk about combos? We only have 15 minutes, so maybe we should skip the rest of the stuff I wanted to talk about and just go into combos. Yeah, I've covered the important stuff, so let's go into combos. I'm going to show you a couple of options, my own favorite options, then I'm going to show you some other like more convertible options. Let's start with hop kick, which I feel is like his most standard launcher kind of. So for damage, what I like to do off of hop kick is I'm going to show you the combo and then talk through it, okay? So the hop kick is up 4-3, right? Okay, so that did 64 damage, which is very decent off of a hop kick, even though Bob's is, you know, slower than a normal hop kick. 64 is good. So what I did here, this is going to be like my recommendation for a damage option when you're not trying to find the wall, and it's going to be my recommendation for wall-less stages as well. So I launch, I then spin right away with forward 4, I do a forward 3, which is this kick, I refloat with a down back 2, I then do down 2-3, and down 2-3 is this very important combo tool for Bob because it does good damage and has really great range. And then after that, I just hit them with the tip of the back 3 like that. So one more time. Okay. There we go. Okay. Really easy, really fun to do. The combo feels really good. It's one of the reasons I really like Bob. I feel like his combos feel great to do. I love ending combos with back three. So that's great. Now, that obviously doesn't give you great wall carry, so I'm going to show you two options that are a little bit more convertible for wall carry, but they do less damage, right? So one option that you used to see a lot, I don't think most people use it anymore, but it's like the old standard Bob combo, is you launch, and then you do... Alright, so this is you launch, you then go straight into down 2, 3, you refloat with a jab, you spin with up forward 1 plus 2, 4, and then you can run up and do whatever ender you want. So that only gives you 59 or something damage, but you can, because you spin later in the combo, it gives you the option to use a wall carry option after the spin, and it becomes a better combo for wall carry. So one more time, launch, and then, you know, whatever ender you want. Cool. Now I'm going to show you what MBC does for his combo, and I think it's important to know because of how good he is, and it's also a kind of a convertible combo. So MBC, he tends to do that for his combo. That also gives you a good wall carry. It gives you better damage than the previous option I showed you, and then you can run up and do whatever ender you want. Alright, so it's really cool. The combo is launch, down 3, 2, down forward 1, and then he spins with down 3, 4, which is this move. And then you can use, say for example, you do this, you can run up, and you can do that for like the wall carry. So that's a cool combo as well. And now let's talk about some of his other launchers. So the combo I just showed you, it basically works off of everything. So you can use these combos off of counter hit, down forward 2. See, that works. You can use them off of what are some other important launchers? You can use them off of counter hit 4. He has a counter hit 4. We didn't talk about the fact that he has a counter hit 4, but it's not 11 frames, so don't get too excited, but it works. So the same options I've showed you work off of all of these launchers. Off of back 4-4, you have to float them with a back 2 before you do any kind of combo, because back 2 has really low hitbox. You know, like a down forward 1, for example, is not going to work. So you do that, and then you can do whatever you want. You can do, for example, this string is like a pretty decent spin move actually, and you can use it for a combo. It's just a back 2-2-4-4. It just comes in a package like this, so if you want to do like a silly easy combo with Bob, you can just do this, right? And then, you know, whatever you want for the ender. I guess maybe you could do, does this work? Yeah, that works. That's decent damage actually, so you can do that. Let's talk about... Okay, let's talk about this is we didn't mention this move earlier because I think it's kind of like situational, but he has this huge like Shoryuken style move out of his wave dash. It's wave dash 2, but it is like a high damage launcher with crush properties. It's very launch punishable, so I mean there are better mids you can use if you want to launch out a wave dash, like for example the hop kick. But if you do hit with this, I think the best option is you do a wave dash 1 like that, and then you can do whatever combo you prefer. I think that's gonna work. For example, if the wall wasn't there, that would have hit consistently. Alright, what else do we need to talk about? Counter hit this. You do that, that works. The throw I already showed you. You go straight into forward 4, and then you can do a couple of different options, really whatever you want, but that's like the important part, and then you can do that, for example, and you get decent damage. Alright, there are like a lot of like obscure Bob counter hit launchers, like 1-1-1 plus 2, sorry, 1-2-1 plus 2 I think it is. Yeah, that's a counter hit launcher. He has like a lot of like, and he's got like 4-3-4, it's another counter hit launcher that are like baked into his strings. But once you learn to like master some of these like combo tools that I've been showing you so far, it becomes kind of intuitive to create Bob combos on the fly. I think his combo like game is really convertible. He gets super consistent good damage because of the down 2-3 and the back 3 at the end. So and the back 2-2, which is an amazing poking and combo tool overall. So I'm sorry this section is like a little bit all over the place, but like I said, I'm sort of learning this character now myself, and these are just things that I'm thinking about as I'm digesting the character right now. My wave dash isn't crisp yet, but it's going to be after a day or two of practice, and then hopefully we're going to do some cool gameplay videos with Bob where we go online. But we're at the 50-minute mark, which means that it's time to talk about walls. So let's just show you some cool wall combo stuff. I'm just going to show you like the bog standard Bob wall combo that you see most of the time. Let's use forward 1+2 for the wall splatting option. Or let's talk about some wall splatting options first. Might be a good idea. So you've got this, because it's an armor move, this is a great wall splat option. Forward 1+2. I mentioned Sidestep 1+2 before. It's an amazing option. If you're spaced out a little bit, 4-4-2 is going to work, and it's safe, which is ridiculously good. So that's amazing. So these are some of his best wall splatting tools. If you're mixing them up out of jab strings, you can do 1-1+2 like I showed you earlier. That's going to work. You can, like I said, use this string down 2-1-2-2, and you can delay these hits like that, and delay them, trick the opponent into eating a high damage wall splat. So you've got a bunch of great options at the wall. Your hell sweep is going to work, but only at certain ranges. But one thing to note about the hell sweep, which is important, is that it is going to break walls and break balconies. So it's an amazing option for that. And another option that I really like for wall splatting is, because of how common the hell sweep is, especially at the wall, wave dash 1+2 is a great option. Now my wave dash is suddenly kind of fast. That's cool. Like that. That's really, really good as well. Right. You have a unique option from full crouch with Bob, which is full crouch down forward is it 2-1-1+2, I think? Yeah, which is this move. That's going to wall splat as well. It's pretty cool. It's got I think a low mix up as well. You can do yeah, like that. That's situational. Let's not go into it. We don't have time to talk about it anyway. Okay, so those are some cool wall options that you have. The last one I'm going to mention, which is really good, if I can get it to work, yeah, is that you actually have like a kind of like his version of a falling rain, in the sense that it is a throw that comes out of a full crouch, down forward, down forward, down forward 1+2. So it's basically a slide input. I didn't say it very well right there. You crouch, you do, so you're holding down, you do down forward and then down forward again in 1+2, and you get this throw that comes out exactly like Shaheen's slide, right? And you can get a throw into a wall splat, which is potentially very powerful. As you can see right there, it is a little bit range dependent. Alright, so let's talk about what you do after the wall splat happens. Basically the bog standard option, the one that you need to know about, is you do a 2-2 into down 3+4. It's good damage, it's consistent, it's very, very good. So it's basically all you need to know. There are some other stuff and some other cool things that Bob players do, but just stick to this for now because it's going to carry you all the way to the high level matches. One thing I can mention, I mean, you can do while standing 3, is it 3-1+2? No, 3+4. So while standing 3+4 is going to do similar damage. It works. I don't know if this floor breaks, but if it does, that's probably going to be a huge option for a wall combo on the Forgotten Temple stage, which is cool. And then the last thing I'm going to mention before you wrap it up with Bob is that he can re-wall splat using his down back 2, which is cool. So as you saw right there, you can do a backdash into a down back 2 to cause re-wall splats. And if you're really good with Bob and you get like angles, you can actually like cause 3, like multiple wall splats with him for great damage. But just a standard easy version of it is you can do a wall splat, backdash, do down back 2, and then you can do your standard wall combo. Like that. or you could do down 4-3-4 as well. But that's less damage. I think that's going to be it for now. I think we did all right for time. I'm sorry I was a little bit iffy on my frame data on the down 4-3 string, and I'm sorry I have a not very good wave dash because I'm not a Mishima player, right? But if I end up really liking Bob and playing a lot of him, I'm hoping that my crouch dash is going to be cool, and if I manage to pull that off, then I think that Bob is going to be a character that I'm going to spend a lot of time with, because I am very impressed with how this character functions, and I recommend him warmly to all of you. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you want to see next. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching every day. I have the best fans in the entire YouTube community. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.